Hey there, Andrew with South Appalachian Weather here on January 21st, 2026. It's Wednesday evening, about 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time as I'm recording this. And again, continuing on with this countdown to what this weekend will hold. And again, you notice I didn't say what the snow will be, what the freezing rain will be, what the winter weather will be right now as we continue on into this forecast, into this weekend. There's still a tremendous amount of unknowns. I was actually just reading the forecast discussion from the fine folks up at the Morristown Weather Service office, and they really have doubled down on that. In fact, I'd encourage you to take a look at that, take a look at some of the details if you want to about some of what's going on out of the guys, the Weather Service offices, because they're really getting into a lot of detail about what they do know and don't know right now. I'm going to hit a few of those high points as we continue on into this. Right now, what we do know with high confidence is we are expecting a lot of water or water equivalent. And what that means is a couple of inches of water or water equivalent is equivalent to, in the summer, a pretty heavy rainfall event. And if it's warm enough, that's what a lot of our region will be getting. But if it's cold enough that a lot of water will actually translate to a good amount of snowfall or possibly ice accumulation or both. Now, again, I want to emphasize this. We don't know which of those different options it'll be. We'll get into some specifics here in a second. The other thing we do know with a very large amount of confidence is we're going to be dropping down into single-digit low temperatures Monday and possibly Tuesday of this upcoming week. So bearing those things in mind, what we don't know, again, the things that we have low confidence about right now is the type and amount of precipitation across our region, and this stretches everywhere between Atlanta and Knoxville right now. There's a lot of uncertainty, and there's a lot that we're going to have to get through and know before we can nail down a specific forecast. Right now, over the last 24 hours or so, the weather models have been trending northward with this system and with what they're calling the axis or the main band of precipitation and of that winter weather. If that trend continues, then we're looking at possibly a rainfall event really across most of our region. But again, we don't know. And I want to emphasize that over and over again. Because if that trend reverses and the system starts looking more like it's going to shift further south, then we will be looking at that possibility of, again, snow or ice or both. The problem is, though, and this is something when it comes to weather forecasting, especially in our region of the country, weather models just don't tell the whole story. We are going to have to see how much rain tonight, tomorrow, and on into Friday we're going to be getting before the system comes through, and what the temperatures are going to be like as we continue to warm up. We're actually expected to stay above freezing for the next several days. We've got to know a lot more about those before we can even begin to interpret those weather models here in our local region. Now, I could show you, you'll notice this briefing, we haven't looked at a single map yet. And the reason why is I could show you a lot of different maps, a lot of different pictures of this. We could spend 10, 15 minutes looking at all the different options, the Euro model versus the GFS versus the NAM versus a whole bunch of different things. I could throw a whole bunch of terms at you, and I could paint some kind of scary pictures, honestly. But I'm not going to do that because I don't know which one of those are right, if any of them right now. Again, there's a tremendous amount of uncertainty with this, and we're still talking about 4 to 5 days out before this system is going to get here. Now, one thing I do want to specifically point out is the winter storm watch, make sure I get that right, winter storm watch that went up across our entire region this afternoon, the one out of both the Morristown Weather Service office and the Atlanta or Peachtree City office. All of that went into effect this afternoon, and the time period is Saturday morning through Sunday night. The one out of Morristown focuses, if you look closely, on a possibility of 6 to 10 inches of snow, mainly north of Knoxville. And I want to drive that home because that's not what we're expecting here in our region out of pretty much anything that we've looked at with the models throughout this afternoon and also this morning. The reason I mention that is you may see those numbers and go, oh my gosh, this is going to be the storm of the century. Again, bear in mind where that is for. even that winter storm watch, really what that means, regardless of which side of the different state lines you're on, what that means is watch, wait, and prepare. It does not mean panic. It does not mean to be anxious about this system. It just means there's a possibility we could see something. If you think about over the summer, typically what we deal with, we'll get tornado watches or severe thunderstorm watches. Just because we get those doesn't mean the weather's going to be bad. It just means that the potential is there in the forecast. And that's what this winter storm watch means. It's just another way of saying, hey, if you've got preparations you need to do, now's the time to get them done, just to make sure everybody's going to be okay as we go through this. The DOT, at least North Carolina DOT, I know, has been doing some of that today. I've been hearing from some other folks that they're just taking care of some general preparation, checking on generators, things like that. Again, stocking up on some non-perishables, not a bad idea this time of year anyway. So I'll wrap this up by saying, watch, wait, prepare. There's not really a lot of details that we can get into still yet because there's so much we still don't know. We're going to continue keeping a close eye on it. I know, again, the fine folks at the Weather Service on both sides of the state line are doing their absolute best to keep a close eye on things, and they've been very honest as well as I've been. We just don't know all the details yet. So keep an eye on the forecast. Keep an eye out for official sources from the Weather Service and from your local emergency managers, details from the DOTs in our different states that we cover here. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on the official information. We'll get through this. And again, honestly, Lord willing, this is just a cold winter rain event for most of us, if not all of us, but we still don't know, and we can't say that with certainty. So keep an eye on the forecast, but don't be alarmed as we continue to see these details unfold.